Do you want to understand how such mind-blowing applications are developed? This tutorial will be your first step towards learning mobile application development. Hello everyone, welcome to Scalers YouTube channel. I am Saumya, a software engineer and an educator. Today I will teach you how to code, how to develop a portfolio application. An application where you can showcase your achievements, skill, work experience and everything that's needed in a resume or CV. Even if you're a complete beginner, I will make things super simple for you. And do make sure you check out our free masterclasses by industry leading experts. Link is in the description. Let's get into the video and make our application. Whenever you are going to develop an application, first of all, we need to understand what are the prerequisites, what are the softwares that you will need. So let's discuss that. The very first thing, the very first tool that you will need is an Android Studio. You can install it from the internet, open up your favorite web browser and just type download Android Studio. It's as simple as that. I can show you on Chrome. Just you have to go and type download Android Studio. That's the only thing you have to do, and here is the first link that you will get. This is the official link from developer.android.com. You just have to click on that, and based on the operating system you are using, like Mac, Windows, anything, you just have to install the Android Studio. It's as simple as it sounds. Moving ahead, once you are done installing Android Studio, the very next thing, the very next step that you have to do, because we know that we are going to develop an application, right? So we will need either an Android phone or maybe an emulator. So what is an emulator? It's very much like your mobile phone only. It resembles your mobile phone. It's just that whenever you will develop any application in the Android Studio, you will run that in the emulator in your laptop, in your desktop itself. You will be able to see how your app looks like, right? And the benefit of using emulator is that you can test your application on a variety of mobile phones. Like there are different mobile phones, Android phones, which is having different API levels, so you can test on variety of softwares, variety of apps. Let's move ahead and discuss if you want to use your Android phone as the testing point. So you have to enable the developer option. To become a developer, you have to click on About Phone. In the settings, you will get the About Phone option, and after that you have to click on build number 7 times. It will show you a toast option, pop-up that you are now a developer. That's all you need to do. Apart from that, you have to enable USB debugging as well in your phone. So here is the developer option that you will get, and you just have to enable the USB debugging so that whenever you test your app, whatever you have developed, you can easily do that in your mobile phone. Now another thing, once you are done installing these softwares, these are the prerequisites. Number one is Android Studio. It's very simple to download as you download any other application like Zoom or something in your laptop. Android Studio is very much similar. You will get all the next step, like how to directly install, they will show you what are the next steps. So it's very simple and you will hardly take like 3 to 4 minutes to install that. After that, you just have to follow these steps if you are going to use your mobile phone for testing the apps. Otherwise, if you are going to use emulator, I'm here to help you. I will tell you how to set up emulator in your Android Studio. Okay, now this is very important thing when you are going to develop Android applications. Very commonly asked question: should I develop applications in Java language or Kotlin? So let me tell you, I started my journey with Java itself, because in engineering, we do DSA, data structure algorithm and all those stuff. So I started with Java and gradually shifted to Kotlin. So nowadays Kotlin is very much in trend. Both the languages are good. Native Java is there. Kotlin has some extra features, and there are some advanced feature advancements which are there in Kotlin, which Java somewhere lacks. So if you are starting in 2020 to 23 learning to develop application, I would say you can go ahead with Kotlin. If you don't know Kotlin, Trust me, it's very easy. If you have learned any programming language like C++, Java, learning Kotlin will be very, very simple and easy for you, okay? If you want, let us know in the comment section. We can bring like 1 hour, 2 hours tutorial on, how to learn Kotlin, the syntax and all the basic stuff. So yes, that's about the language. Don't get confused. Follow this tutorial first of all, develop your first application, and things will be easy for you. I mean, you will be at a better position to decide which language you want to use to develop your application. Both are pretty much good. Kotlin is something which is better because it has more features, enhancements, okay? Now talking about the application that we will develop today, it's a portfolio application. Let's discuss what the app will look like. It will be a very simple app, your first kind of application in any programming language. Whenever we are going to learn to code, we write that hello world kind of program, right? So this is kind of hello world app for you, a portfolio application where you can showcase your achievements, skills, everything. So this is how your app looks like, right? So here we'll put one kind of image of yours, and after that here will be your name and designation. After that, what we will do, one of the most important concept when it's about developing application, it's intent. Don't get scared of the word, it's easy. Whenever we open any page from any button or something, intents are used in the background. So what we will do to help you understand this significant concept, I will use some kind of button concept here. We will write skills and experience, let's say, and then education details will be here, and the last button we can write work experience or something, right? I'm writing short form here, you have to write in detail. And talking about the design of applications, you can do many stuff there. I mean, it is a very, very basic thing. We are just starting with this normal concept, like this will be image view, and then we will have text views over here, and these will be some buttons. On clicking these buttons, new activities will open up. Let's say you are clicking on work experience, right, or your like achievement or something, any button. So a new page, a new activity will open up. In websites, whenever we click any button and open a page, that's a new web page, but in applications that is called as a new activity, okay? Sorted. So whenever any button we will click like work experience, achievements, anything, so we will open a new activity, and that will have another set of like views. These are called as views. If you have this image, this is image view, then text view, and this is button. So let's move ahead. This is how your app will look like. Now that the UI UX part of the app is clear, we know where to place which view. We will jump into the coding part. We will first create the UI with the XML code, and then we will write some Kotlin code to make our application. So I hope you are excited and ready to make your portfolio application. Let's get into Android Studio and do the code, yeah? Awesome. So when we come in Android Studio, the very first thing that you have to do when you are going to develop an application is click on the new project button. So here you can see multiple options are here: basic activity, empty compose activity, and a lot many options are here. Let me tell you, in the beginning you just have to use an empty activity. In the basic activity here, this floating button is there, right? And similarly, if you scroll down, if you are going to develop an application where, let's say, your main focus is on developing maps or integrating maps, maybe you can start with Google Maps activity, right? Or maybe navigation drawer in many of the applications, like those side options are there. Nowadays, bottom navigation is very much famous as compared to navigation drawer activity. This is called navigation drawer option. Whenever you use any app, some of them still have this option. Otherwise, the other one is this bottom navigation activity. in applications like Instagram, Amazon, they all have multiple options in the bottom, Myntra, etc., right? So we will today choose empty activity, that is just a normal activity. Click on the next button. After that, you have to write the name of your application. So today we are going to develop portfolio, right? So let's write portfolio application, or maybe you can write like your first app, hello world app, something like that. This is the name of the package and the location where you will save your project. You can change it from here. This is the browse button. And language, we are today using Kotlin, not Java, so we'll choose Kotlin. This is the minimum SDK. It tells you on what percentage of devices your application will run. Then you have to click on finish. It will take some time to do the Gradle build, as you can see here, and at the bottom it's doing some of the Gradle build. If your laptop is having low RAM, like 2 GB or something, then you will face a lot of difficulty, to be honest, in developing application, because Android Studio is a very heavy software. So make sure it's one of the requirements that your laptop RAM should be at least 8 GB. It will give you a smoother experience of developing applications. Android Studio will run very smoothly if the storage, if RAM is good enough. Sorted. So our application is almost there. We'll just simply this is hello world thingy. We haven't developed anything. This is normal thing. To run your application, what you have to do, you just have to click on this run button. I will help you understand all these stuff, what all these options are, like manifest file, Java source code, resource, everything. Let's first check how the apps look like. I already have emulator installed here, but I'm assuming you have downloaded Android Studio fresh, so you will not be having emulator and all those settings. For that, what you have to do, you have to go in device manager. Here you will see one option, create device. You just have to click on that, and then you can see multiple phone options are here, Pixel, Nexus, and different orientations are here, right? Click on any of your favorite devices, let's say Pixel XL or Pixel 6 Pro. You have to click on next. Moving ahead, this is the release name. These are some of the system images. You have to click on install. I already have these installed, so I will not do that. This will take like 10 to 15 minutes based on your internet speed. Okay, you just have to download either of these and then click on next. That's it. Your emulator will be ready, and to not develop exactly, to run your application, you just have to click on this run button here, and you will be able to okay, wait, let me select one emulator from here. It's getting ready. This when you run any application, the emulator might take 3 to 5 minutes if your laptop is slow. But here you can see the build is done, and this is the Hello World application. Very simple, very easy. So now you have kind of created and developed your Hello World application, right? Let me help you understand more stuff here, what all these options are, because Android Studio is such a software which is having multiple options, and it might be very confusing for a beginner. So let's get into the feature part, like what are options here in the Android Studio. I'll help you understand all the options, like what is manifest, what is Java folder, resource folder, everything. Cool. So the app is connected, and this is how Android Studio looks like. We just saw these things, like we started a new project, and these were the options we already filled: the name of the project, package name, and language. All these things are very simple. We choose basic activity, and there are empty activity, and there are more options as well, like basic activity, navigation drawer activity, etc. This is how typical Android Studio looks like when you are in your main activity.java or main activity.kt file, right? So these are some of the options here. Manifest folder is there, Java folder is there, resource folder is there. Let's talk about the very first option, that is manifest folder. Inside manifest, you will get one file, android manifest.xml. It's a very important file. It contains all the important information, like what will be the icon of your application, what's your app name, like when we use Zomato, Swiggy, something, we see that icon and the name of the app, right? So all those important information will be there. Let me show you here. The manifest file is right here. You can see manifest folder is here, and inside this we have this android manifest.xml file. So here you can see the activities that you will create. Right now we just have one activity, that is main activity.kt. We can create a skills activity, experience activity, because we will be adding those options in our application, right, to showcase the portfolio. So these are some of the activities which will be here in your Android manifest XML file. You can add user permissions here. Let's say you are developing any application where camera or location permission is needed. So you will need to write all those things, permission and the name of the permission, like whatever the permission is. So all those important significant things will come here in the Android manifest file only. Okay. After that, now you know what the manifest file is, and Android manifest.xml file is very significant. It contains all the important information, right? Moving ahead, we have the Java folder where we write all the code part. So this is the Java folder. Here we have main activity.kt, which is the most significant file. I mean, this is the main activity, as the name is self-explanatory, right? We will write our source code here. Let's say in your application you are having some buttons, you are having some images. On clicking a button, what action should be performed? Let's say you are clicking on pay button. So what next action will be there? All the code, all the source code in Kotlin or Java will come here in the main activity, okay? Similarly, you can have multiple activities, like this is main activity, you can have your skills activity, experience, etc. Linked to every source code, there is UI part, there is design part as well. So this is kind of source code part, the Java folder. Inside app, we covered the manifest folder, like Android manifest file, we already know. Inside Java, all the source code will come. If you write in Kotlin or Java, everything will go there in the Java folder. Moving ahead, whenever we develop application, so what's very significant thing for the user? The UI part, right? How the app looks like. So all the UI stuff, the images, the layouts, the design, everything will come here in the RES folder, that is your resource folder. This is drawable. Here we keep all the images, designs, those stuff, and then layout is very, very significant. This is activity main.xml. Whenever we run any application, so whatever UI we draw here in the XML part, in the layout directory, that will be shown. I mean, this is kind of a very significant thing, core of Android applications. The XML part will come here in the layout folder. XML is used for designing the application, for the you can say front end part, for the UI stuff, okay? And then source code is there in the Java folder. Map is here, values directory. Here we can have our style, our own style of the application. We can change the theme, colors, strings. We can define if you are using many strings in your application, you can predefine all of them in the strings.xml, okay? And theme is also here. You can change the theme and everything. This is kind of all the important stuff on the right hand side of your Android Studio. Not exactly right hand side, it's right hand for me, for you it will be on the left side, right? So these are all the important stuff on the Android Studio, the options that you have to understand. The Java source code part, the UI part, drawable is there. Most important is your .kt, that is .kotlin file, or .java, and .xml, okay? And this is kind of Gradle script. You won't need this much in the beginning. This is kind of very beginner tutorial, right? But let me help you understand few of the stuff. So if you are using any third-party dependency or something, you will add all those stuff here in the dependencies part. Let's say you have to enhance the UI part, you have to make your application look very beautiful, you are using some third-party library, so you will add all those stuff here. and that will make things like simpler for you. And after that, you have to just click on sync button here at the top. You will get the sync button once you add any dependency. Sorted. And this is all the plugins and all. If you have to add any extra plugin, you can add in the build.gradle project part, and this is the build.gradle module stuff. Don't worry much if this is a bit tricky for you. The most important thing that you have to keep in your mind is the .kt, the source code part, and the layout part that we will write with the help of XML code. So let's move ahead and understand some more things. Let me connect my iPad with the Mac. Perfect. So now we will understand a bit of the XML part, what all options are here. So you can see here at the top on the right part, the code option is here, split and design. These are three options. If you just want the XML code part, you will have to click on code. This is a split. You will see both the things, the design as well as XML code. And one more thing is, if you want, like if you have just installed Android Studio, might be that you are seeing something like this, the blueprint as well as design. For that, you can just click on this blue button and choose the design thing if you want just the design stuff on your XML option. Okay, moving ahead, this is just the design part. Talking about making designs for your application, there are mainly two things that we can do. One is you can just write the XML code here, right? These are the layout options. There are multiple layouts when it's about designing your application. The other thing is you can use the drag and drop feature as well. If let's say you want a button somewhere in your application, you can just drag and drop it. Okay, that's another way. It's easy, but when you will run your application, when you will start developing applications, you'll understand like it's a bit it's though easy but not a very much efficient way of designing your app's UI. So what we will do now, these are some of the options, some of the view options. These are very common views that we use, like text view to show some text in your application. Buttons are here, image view is here, recycle view. Whenever you scroll something, let's say in your WhatsApp, you have the chat options, right? So when you scroll, that's because of recycle view. That's a recycle view of all the names, whatever names you have in your contact, right? We will be developing all the advanced applications as well. This one is to help you understand all the basic stuff of Android Studio and how to develop the application exactly. Okay, these are some text option, multiple button stuff like radio button, checkbox, floating action button. Floating action is usually here at the bottom. Like just notice the cursor of my mouse, that will help you understand. And some layout options, most commonly used ones are these ones, like linear layout, constraint layout, frame layout, table layout, etc. What we will do for developing our portfolio application, you can go through all these options once you have downloaded Android Studio. First of all, take your time and understand some of these options. Explore the application as much as you can. Whenever we buy any new phone, we explore all the features, right? So whenever you install any new application, this is a very big software, Android Studio. So go ahead and explore all the options, what all features are here. I have already explained the important ones, okay? And another important one is this logcat, which you will see at the bottom. This will help you in debugging your application. Let's say you are using the app, you are running the app and it's crashing, so you can get the crash report, the log errors in the logcat. Perfect. So now we will design our application in activity main.xml. I'll click on a split so that I get the code part as well as the design part all on the same screen. So what I'll do, this is right now constraint layout. I will choose a linear layout. That's way better and easy. That keep things keep all the views in a very proper position. In constraint layout, let's say you are missing some of the parts, let's say you forget to give constraint to any view like button or something, it will get misplaced. I mean, in your laptop you might place a button here, but when you will run it, you will find it somewhere there on top or something. Okay, so constraint layout, start using that once you have a bit of experience with app development. In the starting, for smooth experience, we will use linear layout. Okay, that will keep things in our control. The very next thing that I will do is set orientation for our view. So let's write the orientation. There are two options whenever we use linear layout, vertical or horizontal. I'll choose vertical here because I want all the views one after the another. We have seen the UI, right? We want image, then name of the user, name of, let's say you are developing portfolio for yourself. So your name, designation, so everything will be vertical, not horizontal, right? This is vertical sequence. So I have given the vertical orientation. After that, the very next thing that I want, you can do some of these steps with drag and drop. Let me show you how it works. So I'm deleting the hello world for now, and I'll go ahead in the comment section and drag and drop the image. So we want the image somewhere here, right? What I have to do, I have to choose one image. For now, I'll choose this normal avatar. You can put your own image. I'll try to find my image from the laptop, from the PC, and we'll put it here, okay? After that, the very next thing is I want a text view for my name here, and we will set the design part, don't worry, padding, margin, everything, and another text view for the designation, like whatever your designation is, software engineer, artist, you can write anything in your portfolio, okay? Let's now jump to the split part and write some code in XML, okay? So we have kept our image view here. What you can do is, because it's very much touching the top of the app, right? We don't want that. So you can add some padding or margin options. I'll give padding of 10 dp and similarly some margin here for the image view. So margin around like 20 dp we can give, and that will bring the image somewhat like away from the top of the screen. Perfect. And if you have to give the image or something, you can put that in the drawable section, in the drawable folder, as I showed it earlier, okay? And then let's move ahead and try to do some of the design part for the text view. This is our text view. Let me tell you, these IDs are very, very important. Like, you are called by your name. If your name is Saumya, Ankit, anything, so people call you by that particular name. In the same way, for all these views, there is a particular name, and that is this unique ID. For each view, if we will have another image, let's say, or we have two text views, so the ID of first one is just text view and the other is text view 2. When we will write code in the main activity.kt file, so we will call all these views by their IDs, by their names. Let's say you have to click on this text view, so we will write like text view, whatever the ID is, dot set on click listener. While clicking on that view, what action should be performed, that code will go there, okay? So this ID is very, very important. And let's write here name. For our convenience, I mean, we will set up all the stuff like one way is you can hard code many of this stuff in design, which I don't recommend much, because when you are developing bigger software, there is not a good idea to hard code stuff, right? So try to make sure that everything is dynamic in your source code itself, in your Kotlin or Java code. So another important point is write meaningful names for your ID. This can be image view, profile, this is your profile picture, right? And text view, we can write TV in short, TV and name, because this is for your name, and then TV designation, or yeah, you can write designation here. Perfect. And this is camel case, which I am following whenever you declare any variable. This is a good habit to follow camel case, that is make the capital, use capital letter when a new thing is there, like TV, and N is capital here, that is making it more readable. Okay, and after that we will give gravity to our text view, layout gravity center, and also I want the gravity here to be center so that the name comes in center. You can give more designing, more style stuff, like you can make the text style as bold or something if you want the name to be in bold. You can use your favorite font style, you can download that as well, or simply like if you want to use font of Android Studio, so from font family, we want font for our text, right, not for Android. So text font, and this is font weight, you can give that as well. For now we just want some font style. Okay, let me choose from here. Okay, it's not showing that option right now. If you let's say want to give some color for your text or something, So text color, text size, text alignment, all these options are here, and font will also come somewhere here only in the text option. Okay, so let's right now I'm keeping it simple, but obviously when you are developing your application you can add multiple design here, like color, font, text size, anything. And text size right now it's too small, maybe we can give 25 dp to make it a little bigger because it's the name of the user, right? And after that some more stuff can be text color is right now black. If you want to use any other color or something, you can change with the help of this option. And you can see, I mean, based on your need, you can choose options from here. This will show you all the significant stuff, all the significant option. Perfect, this thing is sorted. After writing the name, we can move ahead and do some stuff for designation in the same way. The very next thing is we will do the same styling stuff for our designation text view. So let's just copy the gravity and all the things that we did for name part and paste it here. Okay, awesome. So that's we are done with the text view styling. If you want some font, so you can just add some font options, font family, and here are some popular ones like sans serif, mono, space, like those stuff are here, right? So I'm just choosing right now sans serif. Awesome. So the very next thing after name and designation is we want some buttons, so that on clicking the buttons like a skills button, we'll go on a new page, new activity. Okay, so let me change the size of designation to 22 dp. It should be a bit less than that of name. And apart from that, it looks good to me. We can give some padding also, so that there is some spacing and all. So let's give padding of 10 dp on name, as well as designation and margin of 10 dp as well. I'll just put the same stuff here in the designation part. Cool. And the very next thing after this is having some buttons, like it should be horizontally placed. So what I'll do is I will create another linear layout, and the orientation this time will be horizontal. Okay, I'll tell you how and why. There are two options, match parent and wrap content, whenever we create height or width of any view. Let me quickly explain what these options are. First of all, for this linear layout, I want width to be match parent and height should be wrap content. Alongside that, I want orientation to be there. So what I will do is I'll write orientation, and this should be horizontal. Perfect. So let me tell you what wrap content and match parent means. Let's say you are having this name option, right? If I make its let's say width as wrap content, it will use only that much space which is needed for it, like name. It will only use the space that it need to fulfill the name of the user, right? If I do match parent, it will occupy all the space that's present. Like, let me show. Right now it's using only that much space. If I do match parent, it's occupying all the space that's available in the app. Okay, that's the difference between match parent and wrap content. Wrap content will only occupy that much space which it needs. Match parent will use all the space available. Perfect. In the name, I'm going to hard code my name right now. Okay, I prefer making a dynamic stuff in the application. Everything should be done in dynamic way, in real time, not hard coding. Hard coding only for few stuff. It's like for which we can't do the dynamic things. I'll quickly change the designation as well to software engineer here, and after that, okay, let me do it, software engineer. You can write, I mean, obviously your designation, everything in your portfolio, and preferably not hard coding. Okay, and educator. Awesome. After that, we'll put some buttons. For that, we want this linear layout. And before that, let me quickly tell you, if you want to put your image here, a hard-coded one. So in the resource directory, I've already explained what resource directory is to you. Okay, in the drawable, you can put your image. What I'll do is I will quickly find one image and put there. So downloads, and this is one image here. I'll just copy it and put in the drawable folder. This is drawable. I'll just paste the image here so that I can use it in my code. Awesome. Okay, so what I'll do, I will change here the source src is the option that you have to use, and after that the image that you want. So right now, as you can see, it has occupied all the space, right? So what I will do is I will give some specific instruction to the view that this is the space that you can use. Wrap content is using the whole space because you know, this picture is large, that's why it's occupying all the space. Even if you will do match parent, then also it will occupy all the space right now. I will hard code it to somewhere, let's try 100 dp, and it's a bit small, so we'll make it 200 dp. Awesome. These parts are done. You have to use the source option if you want to insert an image in the image view. Moving ahead, this is our linear layout. Inside linear layout, what I want is, I want 2 buttons. We can do that with the help of drag and drop feature as well. So I'll put 2 buttons here quickly in the linear layout. Awesome, these 2 are here. And after that, I want similar thing. Like we want kind of 4 buttons in the UI we have seen, right? So let's first finish off with these 2. This is kind of taking, it's quite congested, right? For that we can use margin and padding. So let's quickly add some margin and padding. This is 20 dp, and similarly here as well, 20 dp margin. Perfect. And after that, we will write here skills. On clicking the skills button, we have to open up a new activity, a new page, and similarly here we will write education details. Okay, education details. Right now you can see the width is different for both of these. Why is it so? Because we are using width wrap content, so it will according to the need it will expand. So let's do one thing. For the width part, we can make it like a fixed number. We can give 150 or 2 dp something, so that it looks like uniform in the application. When we will run it, we will see how it is exactly. And this is 150 dp. So let's add just education here so that the UI is a bit better. Awesome. And we need similar stuff for 2 more features. So we'll just copy paste it, and you can see we can't have non-unique IDs, that's why it's showing error. So we'll name it button 3, and this will be your button 4, and quickly change, let's change the options here. This is a skill, so we want, let's say, work experience, so we'll just write work here. And another thing that you can showcase in your portfolio is your achievements. Okay, awesome. Now we are almost done with the UI part. It's very simple UI. To make it more beautiful, you can use some third-party libraries as well. You can add that in the Gradle scripts here in the build Gradle, and you can add your own styling, your color theme, a different theme for your application. And if you want to use, let's say, dark mode or something, you can use all those options in the, add all those options in the theme.xml or style.xml. Perfect. So what we will do is, let's give a meaningful name to this skills button. We will write btn skills, much better. And now we will directly jump to the code part here. I hope this is a bit clear to you how XML exactly works. These are some of the options like code split design, and you can use drag and drop or simply use the XML code. It's very simple, and kind of the words are also self-explanatory. If you want a button, you have to use the button view. These are all our views, okay? Button, text view, image view, etc. Now we will go here in our main activity.kt. This is class main activity. If you have done a bit of programming, if you know any language, Java, C++, you would already be knowing what a class is. This class is extending app compact activity because we want many of its functions. Whenever an application is built, there are some activity life cycles involved. That's very important. If you are going in any software engineering interview and the team you are interviewing for is Android related team, you will be certainly asked this question: what is Android app life cycle? Whenever an app is opened up, which is the first method which is called, that is on create method. This is the first app method which is called whenever you open any app, WhatsApp, Instagram, anything. After that, on start, on resume, lot many stuff are there. Let me quickly explain you the activity life cycle. I'll try to cover it up in detail in the advanced tutorial and further tutorials, but let me give you an overview of how exactly the app activity life cycle looks like, so that things are a bit clear in your mind. This is exactly how your app activity life cycle looks like. On create is the first method, and then on start, on resume. When I'll give you an example how exactly this is done, it will make things clear. But for now, this is the diagram that you have to kind of keep in mind. And app activity life cycle is really a very, very important topic when you are going to deep dive into the app development domain. Perfect. Moving ahead, what we will do is we will jump back into our coding part, and we will quickly add the features, like on clicking the skills button, what should be done. Okay, for now, if you quickly run your application, it will show you all the stuff that you have developed. The image view will be there. You can see, right, this image is there, your image, your name, designation, all those stuff will be there. If you want to reduce the gap and all, you can use margin or padding features. Okay, right now these buttons are not clickable at all because I haven't written any code for these buttons. So what we have to do next is we have to write some code here. I have already explained the activity stuff, what is why we are extending this app compact activity. In this on create method, you observe here, this is saved instance state parameter, which is of type bundle. Now, why are we passing this parameter? Listen to me very carefully, it's important. So let's say you are using an application, you are listening to some video, you are watching some video on YouTube app, and you got a ping, you got a message on WhatsApp. So what we simply do, we just switch to WhatsApp. The video, the YouTube video will be there. We simply go on WhatsApp and try to give a reply and all, then come back on YouTube. So what we are doing here is, as a user, for us things are normal, but in the background, on create method, this method that you see here, it's getting recalled. So we want to give the information to this method that this was the video that the user was watching. This was all the information, like the video was watched till 10 minutes or something. Whatever page you were at, you expect the same page, right, when you go back on that application. That's why this is important. Saved instance state, it is to save the information of your state, of the user's state, whatever you were doing. We want to store that information so that if you quickly jump between apps, so that when you quickly jump between applications, we can pass on this information. Awesome. And after that, the set content view is also very important. What this will do, this is just the source code, right, to which layout this source code is connected to. So here we are connected with activity main, that is this file. Whatever the UI thing here is in the XML part, activity main.xml, we want the same information here. That's why we are writing set the content view. The app's content view, we are setting that here. And in this one, for the main activity.kt, it is activity main. So this is a simple syntax that we use to set the UI of the application. Perfect. Now what we will quickly do is, we will write some code. So let me tell you, if you don't know Kotlin, so val and where are two keywords which we use for declaring variables. Okay, if let's say you have to declare something which is having constant value, very much like final keyword in Java, then we will use val, otherwise we use var. So right now what I will do, I will create one button for my skills button for this one. Okay, I'll create a variable for this button, so we'll call it button skills. Okay, and quickly I have to fetch this view. For that we have a feature, we have a method find view by id. Here the type is button, so I'll write the button type of the view, and after that you have to give the id. So whatever is the id of your button, it is btn skills, right? So I'll write that. Perfect. You don't need a semicolon in Kotlin, it's simple. And then we want to write some code. On clicking button skills, what should happen? We want a new page to open up. This is a very important concept now. It is called as intent. Whenever we have to open up something new, whenever we click any button or something, we use intents in background. There are two types of intent. Button skills dot set on click listener, that is on clicking the button, whatever action we want to perform, we will write everything here inside set on click listener. Awesome. So what we will do now, this much part is I hope clear. If not, tell us in the comments whatever issues you are facing in developing the application. I hope you are following this tutorial as well. Let me quickly explain what intents are, so that the code that I will write now onwards, that will be easy for you to understand. I'll quickly connect my iPad to show that. Whenever we go from one page to another, this is activity 1, this is activity 2, we are using the concept of intents here. Okay, this is really very important concept when you are getting into this domain, intents. These are of two types mainly. One is, let me write here. So very first is your implicit intent, and the second one is explicit intent. So let's understand what these two intents are, implicit and explicit. Whenever you click on any button and you have to go to a new page, new activity which is in the same application. For an example, let's say you are using WhatsApp, you clicked on any chat and the detailed chat will open up, right? The page will change. So that is something you are doing transition within your application, within WhatsApp only. That is an example of explicit intent. Whenever you transition between activities within the same app, like right now we are doing the portfolio app. When you will click on skills activity, we want to open up a new page. When you click on skills button or any button, we want a new page in the same application. So that is a good example of explicit intent. Okay, and in case you are using any application and you have to make a call or maybe switch to another application, let's say you purchase something from Amazon and for making payment you have to go to another application, Paytm or something, that is example of implicit intent. Sometimes in our phones as well, let's say you have to open up a music video or something, you see option like this, you have to complete action using play music or Ghana app. So that is because you are going to another application completely, okay? And that is where implicit intents comes into picture. What we will do in this application that we are developing, we are going to use explicit intent. So for that, what you have to do, I will write here intent is equal to, I just have to use the intent method here, which is kind of inbuilt in the studio, okay? And you have to pass some important parameters here. This is your method, okay, the second one, this, and here you have to give two parameters. They are showing you the option as well. The very first is package context. For that we will pass this, that will give the package context. After giving the first parameter, we have to pass the name of the class. So we haven't yet created the skills activity. So let's quickly do that. Just observe the cursor here, what actions I'm doing. So we will click here, right click here and new and then activity. Last time we created empty activity. We have to do the same stuff for a skills activity. Let's change the name from main activity to a skills activity quickly. Okay, a skills activity. This is the second activity that we want. When we'll click on a skills button, this should open up. Okay, We want a layout file as well for this, and click on finish. Perfect. Now I'll go back here, and whenever I click on button skills, I want that class to open up. So I'll give the name of the class here, that is skills activity, and simply class.java. Awesome. Now here what I will do, this design is clean right now. This is the layout for activity skills. I will quickly just write a text here. That is, let's change the layout to linear and just add a simple text view here. Maybe we can quickly drag and drop a text view from the design part. Here is your text view, and we will just write, this is a skills activity. For now, I'm not designing this skills activity. You can design it in the way you want. You have got a basic overview of how to put views in the design part, how to write the XML code, right? So you just have to create this skills activity. For that, you can add colors, you can add you can put as much creativity as you want. I will put this in the center somewhere. Awesome. And let's quickly run the application to check if our code is working fine. On clicking the button skills, we want a new page to open up, right? Awesome. And this is the old one, I guess. Let it finish the build. And okay, if you notice here, we have to write one more piece of code. We created the intent, but we haven't started the activity. It's very, very important. Whenever you create an intent, you have to write start activity and pass the intent as well. Otherwise, if you click the button, a new page will not open up. Awesome. And we'll just click on run, terminate. And now when you click on skills, and this page is opening up, which is, this is a skills activity. So our code, this piece of code is working fine. This is exactly how you do stuff in your complex applications as well. Okay, if you have to click some button, you will just simply write button skills, any button ID, right? That can be any button, set on click listener, and then this part will come, the intent part. Right now we used explicit. We will understand in future tutorials what is implicit intent, how we can use that as well. So let me quickly tell you that there are some extra features as well which you can use. So I explained you the basic stuff, how you have to install the Android Studio, what all are the options, the XML part, the Kotlin part. Now what you have to do, I hope you have developed the portfolio application till this point. It's not yet complete. There are much more features that we can add, right? So as an assignment after following this tutorial, what you have to do, like we created our application, we added the image view here, we added the name designation, and there were 4 buttons, right? We implemented this one, and you have to complete the UI of skills, and in the same way you have to complete the 4 other options as well, the work experience, achievement, all those things. And after completing the project, after completing the tutorial, what you have to do, you have to share your project on the internet, do it on LinkedIn, on Twitter, push the project on GitHub. It will really help you in excelling your tech career. When people will see your projects, such exciting projects, that will help you improve your profile, as well as hiring managers, recruiters, they might notice your work and you might get an opportunity to give some interviews, etc. as well. And make sure whenever you share your projects, if you have followed the tutorial till now and you have completed all those features, tag Scaler, tag me, Saumya Singh on Twitter, LinkedIn, and tell us how you created that project. We will be very happy to see your project, your progress. And if there is any doubt, let me know in the comment. I will be helping you in resolving your doubts. So in this tutorial, from prerequisites, from installing Android Studio to developing our portfolio app, we covered almost everything, and I hope you will complete your assignment as well. If you like this tutorial, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Complete the assignment and let us know in the comment section which app you want us to build next.
Hey Saumya, can you do this calculation for me? 5237 times 1998.
One sec. I can't really live without this calculator. Can you? We all use calculator application in our mobile phones to do quick calculation. In this tutorial, I will help you understand. I'll teach you how to code and develop a calculator application. Hello everyone and welcome to Scalar's YouTube channel. I am Saumya, a software engineer and an educator. This is tutorial 2 of the Android app development series where I will help you understand the calculator application. Before we deep dive into the tutorial, make sure you check out our free masterclasses by industry-leading experts on Scalar's event page. Link is in the description. Let's get into the video and write the code. These are the two app UIs that we will be building today. This is UI 1 and this is UI 2. If you have followed the first tutorial of mine where I have taught how to build a portfolio application, in the first UI, things will be pretty much similar. This is edit text. Like in the last one, we use some of the views like buttons, text views. This will be also very much simple. This is a bit tricky and I'll help you understand how to design the second one. So let's jump into Android Studio and try to make the first UI and the logic of that one. So for that, we know what to do. The very first step is we have to click on new project and empty activity. As always, you also know what other activities are and in what cases we can use them. For now, we have to keep it simple. So we will start with the empty activity. Let's name the project. This is our calculator application. So let's write calculator app and package name as it is. This is the location of the project and we will write code in Kotlin. So this is the language Kotlin and minimum SDK is API 21. Let's click on finish and then some Gradle builds will happen depending upon what your laptop RAM storage and all is. It will take 1 to 2 minutes. For me, it's quick right now. So this is main activity.kt, it's loaded. If you want to understand what all these features are, the manifest file, app file, Java folder, everything, we have covered everything in detail in the first tutorial, the portfolio one. So you can check out that one. We will put the link in the description. So let's move ahead and we now know what the UI is. So we will go into the split section. We have to make a simple calculator application. The very first thing that we want is we will use linear layout. If you have again follow the first one, you already know what layout options are. So here we will use the linear layout and orientation. Let's keep it vertical only because I want all the views to be one after another. First of all, we'll have two edit text to get the input from the user. Then a result text view will be there where I'll show the result. If you're doing addition, subtraction, anything, we have to show the result there in the text view. And apart from that, we will have some buttons to do the operation like plus, minus, divide, everything. Okay. Next, we have to bring some text input layouts. So let's quickly drag and drop this text input layout here on the screen. This is first one and this is second one because in our calculator, we'll expect two inputs from the user for, let's say you want to do addition, multiplication, anything. So we'll need two inputs. And after that, we also need a text view to show the result. This is our text view in which we will show the result. Right now the layout is obviously distorted. So let's get into the code path in the XML code and fix the design of this one. So we have used linear layout here to keep stuff simple. We will remove this hello world text from here. And this is vertical orientation because we want everything in vertical orientation. Okay. This is the first text input layout inside which we have this text input edit text to get the input from the user. The very first thing that we will do is we will give it one name that is the ID. Every view should have a unique ID. We know that. This should be called, we can keep it short like edit text input 1 or something to make it simple because in our Kotlin or Java code, we will be directly referencing these IDs, right? So this is our first text input edit text. And here you can see like it's occupying too much space. We know match parent and wrap content as well from the last tutorial. So what we'll do, this one is match parent, that is we have given it the instruction to occupy all the space available, right? And height is wrap content. Let's quickly give some padding and margin to this view. and margin as well. Okay, we should better give all these margin and padding to the text input layout. So because this input edit text is inside the input layout only, right? So let's quickly put it here in the input layout. Awesome. And in the same way we will do for this one, so that there is enough there's enough gap between them. See, in this one, in the first one, this text input layout, the width is match parent and the height is also match parent, but we don't want the height to be exactly match parent, otherwise it will occupy all the space, right? So we'll make it a wrap content. Perfect. And inside this first text input layout, this is our text input edit text. And if you notice here, so the other text input layout and the edit text, it is somehow coming inside the first text input layout because we use the drag and drop feature, and that's why it's not really recommended to use that, because sometimes it really messes things up. So what we'll do, we will keep it outside, and let me fix the UI first. This is our text input layout, first one, and inside this we don't want this text view, we want the result to be out of the edit text, right? So this is sorted, the first text input layout, and after that we have this text input layout for the second input, and we'll give the padding, margin, everything here, so that these both look very much, similar. This is padding, and quickly we will give the margin as well. Let's keep it 10 dp, same as the first input, better. And we want the height to be wrap content. Perfect, these two inputs are sorted now. After this, what we will do, we will create a text view to store the result. We see that the height is wrap content here and it's occupying all the space, right? And width should be match parent, and let's give it a height, fixed height of 100 dp. Okay, and at the same time we will write here result text view. Awesome. And right now you can see like height is getting it is covering all the space in the layout, right? So quickly we will fix that. Before that, the gravity should be center, and the layout gravity as well as the normal gravity, both should be center. We will quickly change the hint text here and write enter input 1, so that our user understand that here they have to enter the number 1, enter input 1, and in the same way we'll ask the user to enter the second input here. Awesome. And moving ahead, we have to remove the weight here so that its height is adjusted. Perfect. And we will quickly make the text size better because we want the result to be better, right? It should be bigger. Let's make it 25 dp. Awesome. And this is a typo here, input 1. If you want, you can reduce the padding and margin so that these both input texts are a bit closer. Let's move ahead and try to put some buttons quickly here so that the user can perform some operation. For that, what do you think? I mean, which layout should we use? You already have developed one application, the portfolio one. So tell us in the comment which linear layout or constraint layout, which layout you would like to use here. I'm going to use linear layout here. In that, I'll put like 2 buttons horizontally, and you can use the like drag and drop feature as well if you are more comfortable there, and do the fixing stuff there in the code part. You already know how to do this. In the layout section, you can see all the layouts are here. A layout horizontal is something which we want here, right? So I'll quickly put linear layout horizontal. So as you can see right now, none of the views are visible. We will quickly copy this and bring this at the bottom so that the buttons are placed at the bottom. Okay, awesome. Now we will give some buttons here. We will add some buttons in this layout. You can do this either via code or maybe from here. So here goes the button 1 and the button 2, where we will add some options like plus, minus, something like that. Don't worry about the congested space. We'll fix all those stuff quickly. And let's write here plus, and this will be your minus operation, and similarly more basic operations like division and all. Okay, cool. The very important thing, we will use these buttons in our code. On clicking this, what action should be performed, so we have to give it a meaningful name, an ID. Okay, btn plus, that is button plus, it is the ID, and this one is btn minus. Awesome. And moving ahead, let's quickly fix the spacing and everything. If I will give weight 2, so it will occupy more space. We don't want that, so we'll just keep the weight 1. It was just to tell you the significance of the weight parameter, layout weight. So we'll quickly give some margin here so that it looks better, 20 dp, and same goes to the minus button, margin of 10 dp. These margin padding, these are some of the quick features, you know, to fix the view where it should be, especially when you're using linear layout. In constraint, you mostly will be using the drag and drop feature from the design section here. If you see here, it's a bit like they are not in the same position. Let's quickly see what's wrong in our layout, in our design. So this is linear layout. We have used horizontal, width is match parent. We want it to be wrap content and not match parent, so that only this much space is used. And okay, margin we are giving 20 here and 10 here. That's why a bit of change in the height was there. Now it's perfect. We will quickly copy this for the remaining operations and paste it just below this one. And we want to change the ID, the names of the view. Let's make it divide, and this should be multiplication. Okay, awesome. We are almost done with the UI part. Let's change it to divide, and this should be again multiplication. Now we have to quickly write the code, the logic part for this one. You can see here, if the spelling and all is going a bit more, so it's getting stretched. So what you can do here is, because we are using wrap content, and I have already told you the significance of wrap content is it will occupy space as per need, and match parent occupies all the space available. So I will hardcode the width so that all the buttons are kind of in the same, they look similar, right? So let's try 200 dp. It's a bit more, so we'll keep 150 dp constant for all of these views. Okay, 150 dp is also, I guess, a bit not suitable for this one. It's better. I mean, multiplication should be adjusted in this one, so we will give it width of 150 dp, and here as well 150 dp. Way better. It's like all these are looking a bit similar, right? And quickly, because there should be some gap between result text view and all these buttons, so we will add margin here, margin of, let's say, 10 dp only. Better. And same with this layout. Awesome. So UI part is done. Let's quickly jump and write the code part. Let me tell you, in the code part in Kotlin, although Kotlin itself is very simple and sweet language, but what we will do is, in our Gradle scripts, in our build Gradle, we will add one plugin. The plugin will help us use these IDs directly. Like, the name of this plus button is btn plus, so I can simply say btn plus dot set on click list. Now in the last project, what we did, we used the find view by ID, that feature, that method we used, right? So here we don't need to do that. What I'll do is, I'll put a plugin, apply plugin, and okay, the name of the plugin is androidapi. Kotlin extension, something like that. If you exactly don't recall the name, you can just Google it out. Android Kotlin extensions. I hope the name is correct and there is no spelling mistake. So we just have to click on the sync now button. Android Kotlin extensions. Okay, the name is incorrect. Let's quickly check the name of the extension. Android Kotlin extension. Android Kotlin extension plugin, and it is Kotlin Android extensions. Perfect. So swapping off some of the words, Kotlin Android and extension. Let's click on try again. It should build fine now. Build successful. Awesome. So we'll quickly go in the main activity, and you already now know what all these classes are, why we use onCreate method. I've explained it thoroughly in the last tutorial. We will quickly jump into the code part now. I already have told you well and where are the keywords used for creating variables in Kotlin. So we will create our first variable, that is input1, and we'll initialize it here only. Now let me tell you, our next step is we want the input from the user. Whatever we have to fetch that input, whatever the user will write here, we have to get that, right? And before that, let's say when the user clicks on plus button or something, let me do this here. First of all, let's write it multiply, and let's say the user clicks on plus button, so we have to fetch the input1 and input2, and we have to show that in the result text view. That's our goal. So you already know, we have to now we can get the IDs directly because we have used this plugin, Kotlin Android extensions, right? So btn plus dot set on click listener. When this button will be clicked, then we have to do some operation. That operation is we want to fetch the input, and at the same time we have to do the operation in the background and show the output in the result text view. For fetching the input from the user, what we have to do, now you have to listen to me carefully. We have created these input layouts, right? This is the text input layout, the outer area, and inside this we have one text input edit text. What we will do, we will give it a name. It already has a name. We have given it et input1. So I will do et input1 and get text. We will get the text from the whatever is written there, we will get that. To get text or set text, we have this, you can see text option is here. This is from the method get text only. Input1 dot get text dot, we have to convert this into a string first, and after that, because we have to perform operation, we can't do multiplication, subtraction, all those on a string, so we have to convert it into integer. So to int, perfect. And in the same way, we have to fetch the input from the second input text, that is this one. The name of this one is not yet defined, so let's quickly give it a name, id, and in the same way as we gave name to this one, et input1, so we will name it et input2. Perfect. So here we will say input2. Input2 is equal to et input2 from the activity main.xml dot get text, and again we have to convert it first into a string and then in integer because we have to do some operations. So we have fetched the input, whatever user has entered. Now our next step is we want to do something in the result text view. We have to quickly show the result in this text view. So it is having text view as the ID, as its name. We will rename it to TV text view result. This is our result text view, okay? It is to make things clear when you write code, when you will develop bigger applications, then these namings will be very much helpful, because in your code you will always be calling these views, right? So now we will say TV result dot set text. We will set the text. Now what do we want to display here? The user is clicking on plus button. We have fetched the input from the user. Input 1 we have, input 2 you have. It can be 20 input 1 and input 2 can be 50. So we have to print 70, right? So what I will do now, I will perform the addition operation on input 1 and input 2. After doing this, you can see it showing some error. So why it is showing error, you have to read the error messages and all. This way, when you keep the cursor on the error line, it will tell you there is a type mismatch. It is expecting char sequence, but we are giving integer. Input 1 and input 2, both these variables are of int type, right? But this is expecting a string. It is expecting char sequence. For that, you simply have to use inbuilt method. That is, you have to convert this integer result into a string. And for that, this is a simple method. So anytime you get error, you just have to keep your cursor on that error line and you will get the hint, I mean, what the error is, and you can quickly fix that, right? So we have done the code part for the plus button. Whenever the user will click on the plus button, we simply will fetch the input 1, input 2, and we will set the result text. We'll do this operation input 1 plus input 2 and we'll quickly print it. Let's run the app and see if our code is working fine or not. Click on the run button. It will take some time to do the build, and till then, these are the dependencies section. We haven't added any third-party dependencies. It should be quick to build. So this is the app that we built. Let's try writing some input 80 and 20. If I click on plus button, the output should show up here hundreds, and it's showing up, right? So that means our code is working completely fine. This is the basic logic for this simple calculator application. Now, in the starting of the video, I told you that we will be building one simple UI as well as a complex one. Let me get back to the iPad and give you some assignment for this one, because the app is not yet complete. We wrote the logic for the plus button, right? We have to complete the other operations as well. Now that we have built the logic for one of the operation, for you the assignment is we had this calculator application. We took input from the user and we showed the result here in the result text view, and then we have some of the operation buttons like plus, minus, and multiplication, division. We wrote the logic for the first one. In this one, we didn't use implicit, explicit intent or any such concept. It's just simple maths, and you have to implement the logic for the remaining ones. You have to write the logic for the other operations. Once you are done with the tutorial with your application, the simple one, after this we will be doing the little bit complex UI. I will just explain quickly the UI part to you all, so that you can understand in XML if you have to do some a bit complex UI, then how you will do that. Once you are done completing the logic part of this application, make sure you show it on the internet, tag Scalar, tag me, put it on LinkedIn, Tech Twitter, and like people will see it, right? It will help you build your own portfolio. If you are pushing it on GitHub, there is a complete tutorial. Let me tell you, I have explained on this channel itself, on Scalar's YouTube channel. We will put all the details in the description. There I have also explained, like if you have to do open source contribution, if you have to make pull request or do some contribution, any other project, you can learn that as well from there. And maintaining a good developer profile is really helpful in excelling your tech career. So now you have to complete this assignment, the simple application, and let's get back in the Android Studio and try developing the other UI, that is this UI in which you have to make some more buttons. It's a bit like a standard UI of calculator, the orange theme and everything. We'll quickly develop this one. for that, let's create a new project, right? You already know the steps to create a project now. We'll click on new project. We will choose one empty activity from here. Let's quickly do that. Click on next. And this is calculator 2, or you can write anything, whatever you want the project name to be. Then package name, we will keep the language Kotlin only, and this is the minimum SDK. Let's click on finish, and we will quickly see how to make UI of such a bit like complex application. The main purpose I'm picking this UI because I have to explain the style.xml, theme.xml, those parts. In this logic, I'll ask you to write on your own. If you can't, I can make a separate detailed tutorial on completing the logic of this one. It will be a bit similar to the first one, but not exactly. So let us know in the comment if you want us to make a detailed logic video for this one. But first of all, let's understand the style.xml, the theme.xml, all such stuff, because whenever you are going to do some real world app development, these things are very important. When you are doing UI where you have to do same stuff every time, so it's a good thing to keep all these stuff at one place, and that's how style.xml, all those stuff come into picture. First of all, what I will do is, you are already now familiar with this Android Studio, all the features here. I will go in resource folder. Resource folder is the folder in which we keep all the important design stuff, UI, UX stuff, okay? So this is our resource folder. The drawable is here. We will directly jump into the values directory. Just remove the night theme because we don't want that, to keep it simple, okay? In colors.xml, I don't want these many color themes to be here. First of all, we will go here and remove all these extra options. I just want black and white, maybe we can keep. If you look here, the theme here is kind of orangish, right? So we will use that only, orange and almost black color, white and red, right? Let's quickly do that. Let's remove all these extra color options, and we will declare our own color based on what theme and everything we want. First of all, orange. Obviously, as a developer, no one expects you to remember the hexa code for all the colors. For orange, it's I guess somewhat like FF8C00, but yeah, it's almost orangish. Then after that, we have this black color, white color, and we also want somewhat black, which is kind of light black color, right? I'm telling you so that you get to use the values directory as well whenever you are doing the design part, okay? Almost black, and for that we will use the code like 222 is the like light blackish code, so let's use that one. You can see here, this is one of the finest feature. I mean, they give the live preview of the colors as well, whatever code you are writing. Awesome. So we'll get into the theme section. Here you can see there are so many errors. We don't want all these secondary brand colors. We'll just remove it. We want the primary color to be, we want this orangish to be our primary color, right? And we will do the theme to be app compact. So let's fix the theme as well. Theme dot app compact. Okay, it's not showing the option right now, so what I'll do is I'll quickly refresh it. We will change our theme here to app compact and remove the dark action bar. Perfect. And we will change the color here, the primary color, to orange, and this one we want like light blackish. Awesome. After this, we'll quickly jump to the layout section, that is activity main.xml. This is the split part. Now what we will do here, the very first thing, we will use linear layout, and obviously we want everything to be in vertical orientation, right? So let's give it orientation vertical, and we don't need this text view hello world. We can like maybe reuse this for the working text view. So for now I'm writing here some like numbers. We want the users to write some numbers here, whatever operation they want us to do. Okay, and after that we will give it some ID that you can do on your own, like when you write the logic, and quickly we will make it look better. We don't want this constraint options because in linear layout you don't need this, right? And this is your text view. Let's make it size better, 25 dp, and it should be match parent, the width, so that it covers the entire area. We will quickly change the gravity as well to center, layout gravity as well as the normal gravity to center. Perfect. And simply we also want the user to after they're done writing the like expression part, we want to show the result. For that as well we'll need one text view. This is result text view. Let me explain that to you why we did that with the help of the iPad. So let's quickly connect it. Awesome. So if you see the second UI, first one we already have done. So in the second one, what we want is here in this area, let me write with the pen. In this area, what the user will do, they will write some stuff like, let's say they will press on 2 plus 5 or multiply, something like that. Okay. So this is first text view in which we want the user to write something. I mean, whatever key they will press, we are not using edit input text here. There is a reason for that. I'll tell you. This is the second text view in which we want to show the result to the user. Okay, here because obviously it's not visible when the user will write something, so like the text will show here. This is how exactly most of the calculators work, right? So this is first text view and the second one is to show the result. So let's get back into our Android Studio. We don't want to exactly show these options here. The text view, like we can remove the numbers part and the result text view to make the UI a bit better. After that, the main stuff comes. You have to create your own styles.xml. This is the main part that I wanted to tell you when it comes to UI UX part in mobile application. After this, we want to create a kind of button area here. Let's do one thing. For that, we will create a linear layout, and in every row, for example, there like each of these are rows, right? For every row we want a specific design rule. So we will create our own styles.xml here, new, and to create new file like new XML, you just have to click on file, and in the values directory, let's create our own styles.xml so that we can reuse the same style for all the button rows. Okay, so I'll go in values folder, right click, new, and we have to create a value resource file, right? So let's quickly do that, or you can do by clicking on the file button as well. You can create a file and give the extension name .xml. We here now want value resource file. Let's quickly create that. This will be our styles, the file name, and press on OK. Perfect. Here we want to create some styles. Wait, not a style sheet. So, okay, inside resource we have to create the tag style. So here we will create our own style. The name of this one can be, because we want to define a style for each row. Like this is row 1, this is row 2, right? So we will give it a name, button row, makes sense, right? And inside this we will create some items. We will give it some name, like we want here the width to be match parent. If you have been following the last tutorial, then you already would be knowing why we give match parent or wrap content, right? So quickly we will give the width here, width Android layout width as match parent, and in the same way we will create another item quickly, that is height, Android layout height, and we want the height to be a wrap content, or you can keep it like 0 dp, it will occupy the needed space only. Perfect. And also we will give it a weight. Weight should be 1 dp. Perfect. Okay, it's asking some other input here. So weight, if you like have been following the tutorials, we know that weight is to help the view understand how much weight, how much area it should take up in the entire space. So for each of the rows we have given match parent as the width, we have the height as wrap content, and for the weight we can just define 1. Perfect. And similarly, let's quickly do one thing. Let's split the screen so that we can see what's going in the style section and the design part. Let's stretch it a bit, and now we will jump on and create the linear layout again. So in this linear layout, what I want is, I'll do nothing, I will just tell this, I will give it the instruction that use the same style what I created here in styles.xml. So style button row, this is exactly what I want to do. This is the beauty of creating your own style. I mean, you can just reuse the style whenever you want, however you want. I will be creating similar button rows multiple times, like we have to use this. There are kind of 5 rows, right? So we'll use this style 5 times. It would be like if let's say I would have not created this style, then I would have to write this code multiple times, 5 times. So let's be wise and try to create some common styles in the styles.xml. Okay, so once you are done creating the linear layout, the very next thing that you have to do is, right now it's not much clear, I understand, but it will be once we have done all stuff. For buttons as well, now you can see we want similar buttons multiple times. So again, what I will do is, I will go here in the styles.xml. For the buttons as well, I will create a style. Let's name it button number. This will be the style for all the buttons which are having some numbers. Okay, the words are pretty much self-explanatory. We will create the options here like width and everything. In this case, we will keep the width as 0 dp and height as match parent. Item name, and here goes the height as match parent. Just a second. Height, and this is your Android layout height, which is match parent. Awesome. And we will also give it the same weight. These are done. After this, for our text, we want some some styling or such a stuff. So you can do this from here. You can see multiple options here, like text size. If you want to give let's say 20 dp or something, you can do that. We will see how much is needed, what is needed. And we want the color to be text color to be white, right? So let's use the white color from the colors.xml. Now let's come back to the XML part. Let's close the split section, and this is our XML part, right? So we will just reduce its space, and here we will instruct it to use the style, same style as we declared, that is button number, the second one. So after we have created the first style here, it's occupying a lot of space right now, but what we will do is we have to create kind of 5 similar buttons, and once we will like do this for all of these, then it will look better. So if you look here, we'll need 4 such buttons, and we have created 4. So quickly let's do this. We want similar 5 rows. Okay, so just some sort of repetition that we have to do, and it's kind of helping us save time. Otherwise you would have written the same thing multiple times really. So that's it. After that, what we will do is we will go here, and we want all these areas to be kind of, we don't want the buttons to start from like that much top, right? So let's quickly give some margin here, margin of maybe 20 dp, and here as well margin of 20 dp. One by one we will fix the UI stuff, and this is button number design, right? Let's quickly go in the style section, and we don't want the text size to be this much big. It should be around 10 dp. And back to the activity main, let's go to the project section. Let me open it up. And here is our, in the layout section, activity main.xml. Okay, you can see, I mean, we have created the designs, but somewhere it's like based on the layout, we will change our common style.xml here. Let's try making the numbers here. So the very first thing is, in this button we want to show text. It should start from like clear button, right? So we'll quickly summarize it. You just have to fill in the numbers here in the boxes, and to make the layout a bit, you know, to keep a gap between the result text view and the buttons, you can add a linear layout here, as simple as I have been doing in all other tutorials. I'll quickly do this linear layout thingy here, and we will close it here after the two you know, text boxes, text views. Perfect, way better. And you just have to follow the UI from here. Like, we'll make it red and oranges, all those stuff. We'll create new styles for them. Let's quickly write the numbers here, like 7, 8, 9. Okay, here we go. This is the button and this is the text view. I was just going to write the numbers in the text itself, like in the design part. We can't do that, right? We have to write the XML code. So here we'll write 9, or is it 7? So we'll start from 7 and then 8 and 9. Let's quickly do this part. Similarly, we will fill the numbers in all the remaining buttons. Now we have to increase the weight of this equal button so that it occupies this kind of a space. For that, you have to use the layout weight and give it value 2. We don't want this extra button, so let's quickly remove it. Now if you observe here, for some of the buttons, for some of the operation buttons, there is a different design. So what you can do is, in this one, let's quickly fill in the background as orange, right? And apart from that, we can create a style we will quickly go to styles.xml and create a new style for the button operations. Okay, let's paste this. Wait, let's copy this and we will quickly paste this here. Change the style to button operations. And what we have to do is we have to change the text color here to orange, because we want the operation to be visible in orange color kind of, right? So text color, here is the option text style, text background. For the operation button, let's quickly change the text color to orange, and then we'll come back to our main activity. So we just have to change the style here to button operation instead of button number, and it will do the work for you, right? So for all the operation ones, we'll do the same thing. So almost we are done developing the UI of this one. Let's quickly run and see how this looks like on the emulator. If you are using your Android phone for the testing purpose, you can do that as well. Okay, so it's almost like cool. It looks like a real world calculator app, the orangish and light blackish theme. So the main purpose of explaining the UI of this one is you can use the themes.xml to create your own themes. You can use styles.xml if there is a design which is repetitive, like we had to make these rows multiple times, right? So instead of writing code multiple times, we can put everything here in the styles.xml. So the UI part, I hope, of this one is a bit clear. You already know how to use linear layout, how to use these views, and now styles.xml, themes.xml, all those parts are also clear. So what you have to do, apart from completing the logic of the first one, where it's very simple, you have to do this project as well and put it on the internet once again, complete both these assignments. And let me quickly tell you few of the extra things that you can do in your mobile application project. So we can cover this maybe in the coming tutorials and all. If you are developing any application, so you can use these onboarding examples as well. Let's say you are developing chat application or Spotify, any application. So there are some third-party libraries. It's very easy to integrate these features in your application. Main part is the logic and using all those concepts like intents and all those things, which are very core concept of application development. For stuff like onboarding example, you can just use a third-party library where we use that plugin, apply plugin, Kotlin Android extension. At the same place, you just have to put a dependency. They will provide you their docs. You just have to read that and integrate those features. Okay, so don't worry about these extra stuff, these extra UI thingy. These are very simple. All you have to understand is the logic part, how to create the application. If the flow is clear, the life cycle thing, all those stuff are clear, then it will be very easy for you to develop awesome applications. An assignment, you already know what you have to do. You have to complete the projects and push it on GitHub, show it on the internet, do a recording of your project and tell the world like you have developed this application. So if you have any doubts about this tutorial, drop them in the comment section below and we will be happy to answer them. If you love this tutorial, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Also, make sure you complete this assignment and let us know in the comment section which app you want me to build next.